Welcome back to Biology Domination Crash Course. And today, we are covering one of the most powerful chapters in your entire NEET biology syllabus, evolution. This chapter carries 3 to 5 questions in NEET every single year. And the good news? Once you understand the logic of evolution, not just memorize it, these questions become completely predictable. We're going from the origin of life on Earth, to Darwin, to modern synthetic theory, to Hardy-Weinberg, and finally to human evolution. Let's dominate this chapter. Let's start at the very beginning. Earth formed about 4.5 billion years ago. The primitive atmosphere had no free oxygen. It had water, methane, ammonia, and hydrogen. Now, here's the neat trap. Students often think oxygen was present early. It was not. In 1953, Stanley Miller and Harald-Urey created a landmark experiment. They took these primitive gases, added electric sparks, simulating lightning, and produced amino acids. This proved that organic molecules can form abiotically. This supports the Oparin-Haldane hypothesis, the hot dilute soup theory, which says life gradually assembled from simple organic molecules in the early ocean. NEET loves this experiment. Know Miller and Urey, know what they proved, know what gases they used. Now we reach Charles Darwin, the most important name in this chapter. Darwin traveled on HMS Beagle and spent years observing nature. On the Galapagos Islands, he noticed that finches on different islands had different beak shapes, each perfectly suited to their food source. This was a major clue. His theory has 5 key points. 1, natural variation exists in every population. 2, populations overproduce offspring. 3, there's a struggle for existence because resources are limited. 4, individuals with favorable variations survive. This is survival of the fittest, a term actually coined by Herbert Spencer, not Darwin. And 5, these favorable variations are inherited by offspring. Over generations, accumulated variations lead to new species. Critical NEET point. Darwin did not know about genes or DNA. He only knew about variations. The mechanism was unknown to him. Also remember, Alfred Russel Wallace independently came to the same conclusion simultaneously. This scene is pure NEET gold. Let's compare the theories. Lamarck came first with his theory of inheritance of acquired characters. His famous example, giraffes stretched their necks to reach leaves, and this longer neck was passed to offspring. This theory is disproved and wrong. Darwin's explanation is correct. In a population of giraffes, those born with naturally longer necks could reach more food. They survived and reproduced more. Over generations, long-necked giraffes dominated. Then we have Hugo de Vries, who proposed the mutation theory. He worked with evening primrose, Oenothera lamarckiana, and noticed sudden, large variations appearing. He called this saltation, meaning evolution happens in big jumps, not gradual steps. NEET trap? Darwin said evolution is gradual and continuous. De Vries said evolution happens in sudden, large jumps. Both are important. Know the difference. The modern synthetic theory, also called Neo-Darwinism, is one of the most important concepts for NEET. It combines Darwin's natural selection with Mendel's genetics, something Darwin himself didn't have access to. The key scientists involved are Dobzhansky, Ernst Mayr, Fisher, Haldane, and Sewall-Wright. According to this theory, evolution is driven by 5 forces: gene mutations, chromosomal aberrations, genetic recombination during meiosis, natural selection, and reproductive isolation. Now, the Hardy-Weinberg Principle, this comes up directly in NEET problems. It states that allele and genotype frequencies in a population remain constant across generations. This is called genetic equilibrium. But, and this is crucial, this only holds if 5 conditions are met: no mutation, no natural selection, no gene flow, no genetic drift, and completely random mating. If any one of these is violated, evolution is occurring. Forces that disturb Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium include mutation, gene migration, genetic drift, natural selection, and non-random mating.
Natural selection doesn't work the same way every time. There are 3 types you must know. Stabilizing selection favors the intermediate phenotype and eliminates extremes. The classic example is human birth weight. Babies that are too small or too large have lower survival rates. Directional selection shifts the population toward one extreme. The most famous NEET example is industrial melanism in the peppered moth, Biston betularia. Before the Industrial Revolution in England, trees were covered in light-colored lichen, so white moths survived and dark moths were eaten by birds. After industrialization, soot darkened the trees, and suddenly dark moths had the advantage. This is real, documented, observable natural selection in action. Disruptive selection favors both extremes and eliminates the middle, like beak size in finches under food competition. Also know adaptive radiation, where one ancestral species diversifies into many species to fill different ecological niches. Darwin's finches in Galapagos and Australian marsupials are the classic examples. This is convergent versus divergent evolution territory. Know the difference. Human evolution is where NEET consistently picks up 1 to 2 marks, and students consistently lose them by confusing the sequence. Let's fix that right now. Dryopithecus, 15 million years ago, fully ape-like, walked on 4s. Ramapithecus, 14 million years ago, slightly more man-like. Australopithecus, 2 million years ago. This is critical. Australopithecus was the first bipedal hominid, walked upright, had a brain capacity of 400 to 600 cc, used stone tools. Homo habilis, also 2 million years ago. This is the first species in the genus Homo, brain size 650 to 800 cc, known as the handyman for tool use, did not use fire. Homo erectus, 1.5 million years ago. Brain size increased to 900 cc. This species was first to use fire and first to leave Africa and migrate. Homo heidelbergensis, 500,000 years ago. Brain size jumps to 1300 cc. Neanderthal man, 100,000 to 40,000 years ago. Brain size was actually larger than modern humans, 1400 cc, made cave art. Finally, Homo sapiens sapiens, modern humans, emerged 75,000 to 10,000 years ago. The NEET traps. Australopithecus equals first bipedal. Homo habilis equals first genus Homo and first tools. Homo erectus equals first fire and first to leave Africa. And that is evolution completely covered. Let me give you your rapid-fire revision checklist before you close this video. Origin of life. Miller-Urey Experiment, Oparin-Haldane primordial soup. Check. Darwin versus Lamarck versus Vries. Know the differences, know the examples. Check. Modern synthetic theory. 5 driving factors. Check. Hardy-Weinberg Principle. 5 conditions for genetic equilibrium. Check. 3 types of natural selection. Industrial melanism for directional. Check. Adaptive radiation. Darwin's finches and Australian marsupials. Check. And human evolution, the full sequence with brain sizes. Check. If you want the complete NCRT notes and previous year questions for this chapter, the link is in the description. Completely free. Subscribe, hit the bell, and join our Telegram channel for daily MCQs. You are 1 chapter closer to cracking NEET 2026. See you in day 29, Biotechnology.